I mean, what's the difference, right, between an action movie and a comedy? Really?
Yeah, it's just personal taste. Yeah, no, that's fair.
It's both entertainment.
Simple. Yeah.
I don't know if there's a huge lesson in the Wes Anderson movies.
I mean, there's some of them. There's little things in there that like.
What was your main takeaway from The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou?
Oh God.
Welcome, everybody, to the Nick's Boots from Start to Finish podcast, or AKA today's subtitle, Why Isn't Anything Freaking Easy? I'm your host, Tyler Mao, joined by Lucas Grassberger, Andrew Garcia on the mic, or on the beatbox back there.
Mixing it up.
Yeah, it's kind of a, behind-the-scenes episode. We've got a lot going on, as usual. June and July are kind of our recuperative times, if that's not the right way to put it. They used to be our recuperative times, and I think now they're preparatory times. But yeah, a few things going on, like we'll be starting to push the Patina Thunderdome probably for the next couple months on like get your orders in with different offers and maybe different leathers available for different timelines. We did that last year. It seemed like people liked that. I could see maybe some more free range offers coming out. We do have two new colors of Wicked and Craig double stuff coming out that I think will actually be very good for that contest. Yeah. The marigold and the
burnt orange.
The burnt orange.
It's a good point. I didn't think about that. Those are like lighter colors.
Super light. Yeah. They'll show wear well. They're gonna have a lot of pull up. I think they could be bangers for that, along with like the Mojave. Yep. We did dip our toe into the Waxy Commander world, that's been taking the boot world by storm.
Another great option for the Patina Thunder.
Another great option. Yeah. Definitely picks up wear and shows scuffs, and I think it's true to the goal of the Patina. With Snuff we released, so you can buy that now. We've got green coming up.
Yes, aged bark is what we're calling it.
Okay.
Mostly for marketing purposes. You can't market Snuff.
Oh, fair. Yeah. In both probably many senses. Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, and then we've got, what do they call it? Mole or mole? I'm not sure which. MOLE. And then,
probably mole.
What's the third one?
Green.
Wheat buck.
It's not green?
That's the mole or mole.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the third one is a much lighter color, and it's called wheat buck.
Okay. Yeah, like I think it's interesting that some of these tanneries have been around for like 100 years, so they call things all kinds of weird stuff. Obviously, we've been through the English tan debate with Horween. But like this, there's a color called mock, M-O-C.
Yeah,
and it's like supposed. I'm trying to get them to tell me, and maybe it's because they don't know. I don't know. But what's the difference between mock and natural? And mock is like the colors of the liquors and the waxes that are just used to treat the leather, without any additional dye. And I'm like, well, that kind of sounds like natural to me a little bit, right? But yeah, so like we've got some mock stuff that we'll be showing. I think is actually going to be pretty cool. But
yeah, I think it's a really nice leather.
It was this some leather they made a moccasin out of 100 years ago, and that's why it's stuck.
We got the sample in, and I was racking my brain like, what is MOC? Is it mocha? But it's not a mocha color. What is this? And then you're like, no, it's just mock.
It's a made up thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like Latigo.
Is it acronym or something?
Yeah. I mean, you can't tell me Latigo is real because nobody does it the same way.
Latigo, Latigo, yeah.
I mean, some people think it's a combination of chrome tan and vegetable tan, and yet some factories that only do one of those two have their own Latigos.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Horween Bison leathers, yeah. So the tight grain on those. So Horween, for like comparison, Horween has smaller hides than typically like Law or Seidel, and really most people actually, mainly because they dry them longer. And so one of the things you'll notice about a Horween hide is that it's got a little bit, maybe a little tighter grain than what you might see from some other people, and the yield is theoretically better. And so even if you're only getting 18 to 20 square feet versus like 25, it should even out, in terms of actual footwork coming out of a hide. But I don't know if that's always true, but that's the idea. But yeah, so these Bisons, they've got a much tighter grain pattern than you see on the work Bisons that we offer. I think they look pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they look great. It's different enough from our work Bison. Like you said, a little bit tighter grain. It feels like it's got a little more finish to the smooth side, like a little bit more shine to it. Yeah, it's a really nice leather.
Yeah, I would agree. We dropped the V3 of Parkhurst, so basically more options than ever. Thank you for doing that.
Almost all the options.
Pretty much whatever. Yeah.
Go crazy.
Go nuts. We did sell a good bit of those in the first week or so. But if you want that last with the next construction, I think it's a great looking boot. It's a great looking last, and that's why we have it. And Andrew did a really nice job over at not you, Andrew, the other Andrew, who operates Parkhurst, but he did a really nice job coming up that last. And so we urge you to please get in the running. And
how much longer are we going to run that?
I think we usually do for like a month or two.
Okay.
Each time.
Yeah.
Roughly.
So maybe end of this month, end of June, we might pull it.
End of July, maybe.
So get it now.
Well. True, and so it's often a quantity thing. So, I better sooner than not with these things. Okay, so we've finally kind of gotten past the final hurdle for our remodel to start. So that's kind of exciting, and now of course it's starting sooner than they initially told us, and so we've got a lot of prep to do. But that's going to be starting on July 15th ish. It's going to be. It's going to be an interesting 3 months. Definitely some inconveniences. I think, if any of you come into the store, we'll probably have a bit of a smaller showroom than normal temporarily, because we're going to be bringing in extra like containers for storage and putting things in storage. And we'll probably be doing some double duty in the showroom, just to keep the lights on and keep things moving. So it'll be a very interactive retail experience.
But on the production side, we're making sure that nothing gets affected, right? Like, in terms of...
Yeah, I mean the showroom.
Yeah.
So on the production side, correct. Yeah. Should not impact that. There may be like half a day where we do have a disruption because we have to switch over the electrical. But should not be a major disruption. But I'm just talking if you walk in the showroom.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So that's exciting. We've got some new bags coming, so essentially a new and improved version of the travel bags and tool totes. We worked with some external parties that do a nice job, and are basically adding some refinement to those patterns and those construction methods. So pretty excited about that. We did roll out a policy change, and this is related to order changes, and so. Now we basically ask that you hold off until shortly after. Well, you can make changes immediately after you place the order, but then we ask that you will wait until about 3 weeks before the boot is supposed to go into production. We'll send you an email and ask for any changes at that point.
Right.
The reason for this, we were getting 50 requests a day, to make changes. And it was just one, extremely labor consuming. But I think most importantly, it just led to mistakes. And so you'd see these orders and they would have like 30 different changes to them. And so we do have somebody who reviews these before they go into production, and also she reviews them every time a change is made to it. And so that's another kind of cascading effect of that is like, okay, you had somebody who had to like get the BOM, redo it. Like, it's totally cool. Get what you want. We want you to get what you want. We just kind of want to cut down on the communication costs around it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You're waiting, up to 5 months sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever waited that long for really anything, but I could totally understand like the indecision of like, ooh, maybe I actually want a 6-inch or an 8-inch.
Yep.
And so all this is cutting down is the like, hey, I think I want a 6-inch, and then 2 weeks later, actually, I want an 8-inch. Because we've seen that a lot where some customers have just on a single option gone back and forth, or even sizing, where it's like I went into a store and did my brand X size, so actually can I go a half size down? I just double checked on your DIY sizing guide, actually can I change this and this to the size?
Yep.
And so we're still allowing those changes. It's just gives you that time to think about it, and then for production planning, you can reach out, make those changes, and we can be like, cool, we got everything checked off, everything's 100% confirmed, we're good to go. These are going in like a week.
Yep. So it just cuts through the amount of maybe ancillary information you have to sift through when you're finalizing these bills of materials, and also I think just helps us get it right, And so you're certainly free to make any changes you wish. We just ask that you kind of wait until we send you a note and say, hey, you're ready to go here. Do you want to make any changes? And we'll accommodate that.
Yeah, I think one of the great things too is like one of the worst things is you wait that long and then it's about to go in, and then one of the things you change or one of the things on your order, we don't have that leather, or we don't have this or that. And so this will be like, we launched a new leather 2 weeks before your order is about to get scheduled. You can be like, hey, do you have that leather? We can say yes or no, we have that leather for you. And you can either wait for it, or you can pick something that we actually have in stock, so it will go in production with those changes you made.
Yep. Yeah. So if you know where to reach me if you have any feedback, but I think it's generally a good thing. We're running some ads. This came up on the old school television.
Yeah, we have TV commercials now.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
So it's a different media environment than it was maybe even like 10, 15 years ago. So this doesn't. You can kind of do it as if you were doing like normal performance marketing, and so it's not like a huge amount of money, which is nice. So we can kind of dip our toe in and check that out. But shout out, to us if you see it. I believe somebody was watching Thor Ragnarok, and they caught an ad. But
I think it was on just like cable television that we were watching, and it popped up.
Yep. Yeah. It's basically just it's through over the OTT over the top. So it's through streaming services, that still have commercials, which are still a lot of them now. But yeah, no, this does not mean the beginning of the end for Next. We're not going corporate. We're not. I was trying to get a Super Bowl ad, but unfortunately that's out of the budget. But no, it's just something we're trying out, and we've got to continue to grow to keep up. So we're trying to do that.
Yeah, and props to the media team. It's a really
nice
good
video.
Commercial.
Yeah, nice job, Andrew.
Yeah.
Nice job. Okay. Well, anything else we want to cover before we wrap this up?
No, we're new sizing guide.
Oh yeah, you've got the new sizing guide
up. Yeah, we've got a lot of requests for. There are some issues printing it out, some confusion on wording, so I went through and just kind of redid it. I think it's a lot more simple. There's going to be a version for standard, as we know, 8.5 by 11, but also A4 printing for international customers. And I've tested it out in the office and on Reddit, and I think it works really well.
Nice.
I think it'll make deciding on your size a lot easier.
Yeah, we've got some other things cooking that I'll probably talk about once they're more finalized. But a lot of good things in the works here, and getting through the Palousas, which is cool. Nice to see that kind of coming down, and hopefully we can do that soon, so we can start selling them again. But yeah, so those are looking really good. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. So hope to see you soon. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me. For Andrew, Lucas, I am Shiler Mao. Thanks for your time, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
Bye.